Let's talk about one of the most frustrating parts of owning a home, your heating and cooling system. To really get to the bottom of a problem that affects all of us, we're going to zoom in on one specific town where these systems are pushed to their absolute breaking point. I mean, this is the universal question, right? You've got the thermostat set just so, but for some reason, the bedroom is a sauna while the living room feels like an icebox. I promise you, it's not just your house, and it's not random. There's a real science behind why this happens. So, to really understand this, we need to look at an extreme case, a place where the weather, the style of the houses, and even the air itself all seem to conspire against your comfort, and we found the perfect spot to see it all play out. Brookline, Massachusetts.
Yeah, you heard that right. Welcome to the front lines. We're calling Brookline the HVAC battleground because it's a place where tough weather and tricky old homes create, well, a perfect storm for heating and cooling nightmares.
And look, this is a year-round assault. In the summer, you've got this oppressive humidity that forces the air conditioner to run constantly. Plus, that salty coastal air is literally eating away at the outdoor units. Then, boom, winter hits. Temperatures plummet, furnaces are pushed to the max, and that constant freezing and thawing damages everything. There's just no downtime for these machines.
But here's the thing, the weather is only half the story. The houses themselves, they're a huge part of the problem. Let's talk about the hidden enemies that are working against you from inside your own walls.
The challenge becomes crystal clear when you look inside. A lot of these homes in Brookline are beautiful, historic properties, but that also means they have ancient, leaky ductwork and really spotty insulation. You combine that with damp basements thanks to the clay-heavy soil, and you've got a system that has to fight the house itself just to keep things comfortable.
So, what happens when you smash that harsh climate and this tricky architecture together? Well, failures don't just happen, they become predictable. Let's break down the anatomy of how these systems fail.
This is what it looks like when the battle is lost. In the summer, capacitors just burn out and compressors overheat, usually right in the middle of a heat wave. Come winter, it's ignition failures, or even worse, cracked heat exchangers. And the ongoing symptoms? Those uneven temperatures we first talked about, and of course, sky-high energy bills, as the system just runs itself into the ground.
And you know, this isn't just about being a little uncomfortable, this is a safety issue. When a furnace fails in a New England winter, you're talking about dangerously cold homes and the very real risk of pipes bursting, which can cause absolutely catastrophic water damage. The stakes here are incredibly high.
Okay, enough with the doom and gloom. How do we actually fix this stuff? The key is to stop thinking like a frustrated homeowner and start thinking like a pro. There's a logical way to get back in control. You see, the process is pretty straightforward. A real expert isn't just going to patch the symptom, they're going to find the root cause. Then, you get a clear, written estimate, so no surprises, and after the repair, they test the whole system under real-world conditions to make sure the fix is solid. It's all about precision, not guesswork. Now, this next bit is a total game changer for any homeowner who's facing a big repair bill. It's called the $5,000 rule. It's a super simple formula to help you figure out if you're about to throw good money after a bad, dying system. You just multiply the system's age, in years, by the cost of the repair. Let's run a quick example. Say your AC is 15 years old and it needs a $400 repair. Okay, so you multiply 15 by 400 and you get $6,000. Since that number is over the $5,000 mark, the rules suggest that replacing the unit is actually the smarter financial move. It's a really powerful way to stop yourself from sinking cash into a lost cause. So now that we're thinking like a pro, let's build your own personal playbook. These are some simple but really powerful rules you can use to manage your own home's climate and save yourself a ton of money and stress. First things first, you gotta know your timeline. A system that's been ignored might only give you 10 to 12 years. A pretty standard AC or heat pump gets you about 15. But a furnace that's been well maintained, that can push 20 years. The big takeaway here, maintenance isn't a cost, it's an investment in a longer life for your system. Okay, here's a brilliant little tip that could save you from a massive repair bill. It's the 3-minute rule. When your AC cycles off, don't immediately crank it back on. If you just wait 3 minutes, it allows the pressure inside to equalize, which protects the compressor from burning out. It's so simple, but it's so effective. And finally, let's talk strategy. When is the best time to actually buy a new system? The answer is never during an emergency. The absolute worst time is in the middle of a heat wave or a cold snap. Demand is through the roof, and so are the prices.
The smart move is to plan ahead and buy during the off-season, spring or fall. Demand is low, and you've got way more negotiating power.
So after seeing the constant war that's being waged inside your walls, here's the final thought. Your HVAC system runs a marathon, thousands of hours, year after year. The real question isn't if it's going to face its next big challenge, but when. So, are you ready for it?